This is so cool. Wait till you guys see this. So, earlier today, I was on my front porch. I'm so excited. I'm like just jumping right into this here. And I don't even know what I was doing. I wasn't thinking about, I don't know, I was kind of in a mood. We all sometimes we get in bad moods, right? And then all of a sudden, I saw a shadow of something, and at first I looked up and I figured, oh, it's probably just a hawk, or we have blue herons that fly over. And then I looked again, and it was a monarch, a beautiful monarch, and he's just flying through, you know, over. He was heading toward my other garden in the yard, which is so fun. So anyhow, I also watched on Facebook today, a new friend of mine. She's in our garden chat group. I actually shared her link to her butterfly release, and she's got the coolest little monarchs in a little cage. Well, I have this, or, you know, it's not a cage, it's like a safe zone, like the dome. So I have my giant dome here, right? And I'm thinking, man, I would love to have some little monarchs or caterpillars in here, good bugs like monarchs. So on my way out here to do this live stream, the garden chat live stream, that I've been doing every day, hopefully every day at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, I checked out, excuse me, I made it a point to stop at this milkweed area that I have right up next to my house, and just to check. I'm like, oh, there's not going to be anything. I look, and I'll tell you what, the very first leaf had, I want to be really careful. I gotta, oop, the camera's here. So I want to be careful. Where is he? He's right here. Oh, I don't want to drop him. So he's right here. I have one. See him? I think you can see him. I hope you can see him. Wait, there he is. How cool is that? I think it's a monarch. I googled it before I left too. But you know, I've had some similar to this before, and they ended up being swallowtail. But I'm assuming, because I keep seeing a couple of monarchs over on this milkweed, that I'm hoping this is what it is. So here it is. I'm gonna keep them in here, because I not only have lots of milkweed right now outside in my garden, I have a little milkweed plant actually that keeps coming up right under me here. It's under the table here. So somehow I need to figure out how I can make this a safe zone for him or her. Are you a boy? Or you're a girl? I'm thinking it might be a boy. But anyhow, hopefully I can keep him safe in the dome here until he gets his wings, and then I can let him out. So anyways, I'm so excited. Look at that. He's in with my tomatoes. I was so excited I didn't even care. I brought the tomatoes because that's originally what I wanted to talk to you all about on the Garden Chat Facebook group here. And I'm so sorry I didn't say hey to everybody. Hi, I'm so excited. But isn't this exciting? It's very exciting. I'm going to sit him here for now. And so I want to invite you, go ahead, comment on this video. Please, I can't wait to connect with you. If you're live right now, that'd be awesome. But if not, I'll come back and I will definitely check the comments. Yes, if I miss you, don't forget, you can tap on my face here on Facebook and send me a message so we can connect as well. So I'm Bren Haas, the administrator, and I'm streaming to you live from Northwest Ohio in my geodesic biodome, which is super exciting. And okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about today, besides this beautiful butterfly or caterpillar, can't wait to name him. Anyhow, let me just check right here to see if I've got any live comments, which I've not been having those lately. I'm not sure. Something new with, oh no, you guys, my microphone's over here. I hope you can hear me. Could you hear me okay? Now you can really hear me. I left it there. I was so excited. Oh, this is horrible. Shame on me. Hey. Come on, it's something to be really excited about. And gosh, I hope you guys can hear me. Oh well, I'll put a video up of this. Definitely, I'm so excited. Okay, so welcome all the new members. I'm the crazy administrator, Bren Haas. Crazy about gardening and sharing it with you. I love sharing what's going on in my life with you, and I want to connect with you, and I want to hear about what you're growing or what you're not growing, and I hope to inspire you to consider growing something, anything, houseplant, milkweed. It's all awesome. Just ask any one of our members in our group, because they're all fabulous people, and they love sharing their garden, and I love it. I can't tell you enough how much you all inspire me, and I appreciate you sharing your passion about gardening with us. Okay, so I am supposed to be canning the last few days, but I've had some situations, and you know that happens. We all have lives, and so I'm getting a little behind, but luckily I've got plenty more fresh tomatoes I'm able to pick, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk with you guys about today a little bit. Canning tomatoes. It is a passion of mine. I love doing it, especially so we are prepared for the winter time. It's a great hobby, I think you would say, but it's really not a hobby. You know, back even in my mother's day, and my grandmother, you know, it's the way you lived. If you did not can, you may not have food, you know, and so it's a really good thing that we're very fortunate that we can make it a hobby and just make it for fun. That's something really to think about. And on that note, anyhow, I was hoping to do my canning this afternoon because I want to get some video. Hey, Barb, thank you for joining me. Awesome. I am in Northwest Ohio, actually near Bowling Green State University, kind of. Out in the country here, and great to connect with you. So anyhow, yes, so this afternoon I was planning on doing some canning, and we're having our water work done. I live in the country, so you have to have, well, you don't have to, but you end up having, it's good to have a water system to kind of clean the water and you know, take the, you know, like we get a lot of sulfur out here, and so my system's been acting up, and finally the guy is coming out to work on it, fingers crossed, because it needs to be done. They're tanks, and I'm not very good with this, my husband could tell you. The rocks need rebedded or something. It's not been done in, like, I don't know, 13 or 14 years, and so that's what's going on, which means I have to put the canning off just for a little bit because I'm going to do the hot bath method. Need good water for that, and I need water for that. And so I'm going to put it off a little bit. So hey, Barb, great to connect with you, or anybody else that is joining us live too. Please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Where are you gardening? Where are you sharing from? You can share your state or your city, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Awesome to connect with you. I'm assuming, Barb, you may be in Ohio, maybe. Either way. Okay, so one thing I wanted to touch base on, you guys, with the canning. I made a few notes just so I wouldn't forget. Canning, I'm talking specifically tomatoes. I wanted to share with you a few of my favorites and things to look for. Now, I do realize it's a little late to start tomatoes for canning because it's canning season right now, at least in Northwest Ohio. Tomatoes are going to be pretty much done. I do have a few nice starter plants here in my dome that I probably will get a few little baby tomatoes off of as we head into December, but that's because it's in a greenhouse here. But other than that, you're going to have to wait till next year. But that's okay. Or you can visit your local farmers markets, or I know there's certain Whole Foods, different grocery stores that carry different tomatoes that you could possibly use for canning, but I've never done that from a store. I know the last couple years I didn't get a huge harvest of tomatoes for canning just because of trying different ones and different projects here in my own garden. And so I rely a lot on my local farmers. So I know to go to, there's a place up on Airport Highway, Great Farm Family. They have a beautiful greenhouse, and they also sell big bushels of tomatoes. I think the ones he has there are either the Beefmaster or the Better Boy, which is a great tomato for canning, definitely, because what you want to look for with a canning tomato is meaty, you know, not a lot of seeds and low moisture, because when you do the hot bath method and whatnot, there's a lot of water involved. So there's certain varieties that do best for canning, And those are two good ones. A few others, which I hope you guys, if anybody out there are canners, or maybe your aunt cans, maybe you could share some information with us on that. Hey, Harold, thanks for joining me. He's in South Louisiana. I hope you guys are safe down there with all the weather going on. Yeah. So you did your canning in June. Okay, so I'm up in hardiness zone 5B. Don't hold that against me. It's canning time now for us, at least with tomatoes. It's all in season. So that's awesome, though. Maybe you can share some tips with us on what you did or what you use for your canning. And you could do pickles and whatnot, too. Today, though, what I'm talking about is specifically the tomatoes. So a couple of favorite varieties that I like to can with are the Amish pasta. I love that one. It's very meaty. I've made Italian bruschetta canned, and I've made tomato sauce for spaghetti out of that before. Cherokee purple tomato, those are heirlooms. I have a German Johnson. That's a great one this year. It's very meaty, not too many seeds. Beef Master, of course, I talked about that. There's a German Giant. I've not used that, but my friend actually recommended that. Pink Brandywine I've canned with before. Those suckers are huge. They're huge. I love them. I have a new one this year. It's not a pink Brandywine. I think it's actually a Brandywine. Oh, I forget the name of it. I'll have to share it with you in the link here. So those are just a few that I recommend. So another point I wanted to share with you and just give you a suggestion about checking your local garden farmers market for tomatoes if you don't have enough. Another suggestion I wanted to share with you is when you're picking out these tomatoes, of course, if you get them from the farmers market, I can't imagine that they would not be the right ones to can with. You know, you can ask, which I always talk to everybody anyways. So yeah, they grow specifically for canning, and so that's always a bonus. Let's see, why don't I have a garden? Eleanor, why don't you have a garden? I don't know, unless, I mean, I think that's what you wrote. Why don't I have a garden? Well, you know, hopefully we can all help you get a garden going here on Garden Chats. Okay, so the next thing to look for, and this is important if you grew the tomato in your own home, before you can, and you're getting ready to can, and you're picking those tomatoes, you want to make sure that when you pick your tomato, they're ripe. Look for black spots on them. You know, make sure it's the best looking tomato you have. You know, I've used some in the few before just because I had to. That may have had a little black spot on it or bruising, just a few spots, and sometimes you can just cut that right out before going through the canning process. But you want the very best tomato. And another thing which I'm going to have a problem with, because I picked a lot of tomatoes a few days ago and I've put it off, it's really best to get those tomatoes fresh right off the vine. Get them canning, seriously. That's what's cool about being a home gardener. And there are actually some amazing varieties out besides the ones I mentioned to you. I am trying a new one this year, which I believe may have been available, but it might be a new one for this next year. And it was from Burpee, and it's actually called a Gladiator Roma, which I've been playing around with these. The really nice thing about this tomato plant is it basically put, you know, there's like 12 large Roma tomatoes ready to be harvested, ready to be used all at the same time, which is really good, because when you're canning, you know, it's kind of hard with things like the Brandywine or, you know, my Cherokee or my Grimm or the purple, real pretty ones, the pretty heirlooms. You know, you get a few that come and they're great for sandwiches and some more BLTs and all that. But when it comes to canning, you need more than 1 or 2 or 3 tomatoes, right? So that's the cool thing about this new one that I'm trying this year called the Gladiator, and I love it. And I think I've shared a picture already, but I'll share another one. And I actually have a lot of pictures and notes that I hope to blog about it and share with you guys. I am going on and on, sorry. Hey Howard, thanks for joining me here. I made 35 is that 3,500? It's 3,500 pounds this spring. I'm probably reading that wrong, but it's very sunny in here. Okay. Wow. And so, what did you do with all that produce? That's amazing. Another fun thing to do, you know, which is great to have all these neat little varieties of tomato. Oh, let me check on my monarch. Where is he? Oh, here he is. Oh, I had a heart attack. I feel like I'm babysitting. I don't want my caterpillar to go anywhere. There he is. Look at him. Because I saw something jump down here by my stevia. I have a big stevia plant right here. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with him because I want him to be safe. I don't want Mr. Toady getting him. He's in here somewhere. Little stinker. He hides on me. I hear him at night, though. He likes to sing. So, there's a cricket in here, too, by the way. I'm not sure how he got in. But I think I got all the grasshoppers. Little stinkers. Okay, so anyways, let's go back to the tomato. Sorry, get distracted easily. Harold. No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay, Harold sold a lot to local restaurants. That is so awesome. I love that. I love hearing that. So Harold, that's really cool. Harold sold his tomatoes to local restaurants. That'd be cool if you shared with the group about how you do that, because there's a lot of people who grow a lot. I keep looking at my monarch, who grow a lot of produce, and then it's left because they're not sure what the heck to do with it, right? And so maybe you could share some tips on that. Very cool. So Eleanor says, I only have a few left. Okay, so another thing that I did the other night, actually, and you know what? I forgot to take photos. So I will have to do this again just to share photos with you guys on Garden Chat. I took a couple of my little Romas. Well, they're actually Juliets. And I actually got this idea from a friend of mine in Chicago, who heads up the All-American Selects seed. I am drawing a blank. Diane Blazik, actually. She gave me this idea. So I have my favorite canning book out, which happens to be from a friend of mine that I met on the web. And a recipe in there was he shares in his book, and I'll share the book with you. Yes, You Can is the name of it. And so basically you take the Roma or the Juliet and you slice it in half, and you're going to put it in the dehydrator. And what I did the other day following my friend Daniel's recipe was I put a little olive oil in it and put a couple of these basil leaves on it and dehydrated it. It took about 8 hours, and ooh, let me tell you, those were tasty little tomato treats. And you don't need a whole lot of tomatoes to do that, and you don't have to eat them right away. You can, you know, because they're dehydrated, you can, you know, seal them up and save them for another time, but not my house with these. They were good. We ate them. I ate my fair share, for sure. So, anyways, let's see. Harold says your secret is calcium. Nitrate is the secret. And I'm sorry, I'm reading so bad. You know, I am really warm in here. It is hot today, and my big fans are on, and my eyes are literally like sweating, and it's allergy season, so forgive me for not being able to read real close here during the live stream. Harold said Google Tom Stores SD. Okay, I'll have to look that up. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to put that in the comments and check that out later, but very cool. Okay, so I hope that helped you guys a lot, learning about tomatoes. And I'm sorry, you guys who are not tomato or edible growers, that's okay. I love hearing about your flowers and things. Besides, aren't the tomato plants pretty flowers? They have little cute little yellow flowers on them. And I love my little monarch. He's so cute. Well, caterpillar. I'm like so excited. In fact, when I'm done here, I'm gonna actually go check some more milkweed, and I'll tweet you guys. I'll share a photo here. I will tweet it too because I love this. And so I'm gonna go see my other monarch through or milkweed throughout the yard and see if I have any more little caterpillars and make them or provide them the safe zone here so birds and bad bugs don't eat them. And I need to read up with it on that, but I know a lot of butterfly people who can help me with that. And who knows, maybe they would be safe just right here in the dome for the winter. Wouldn't that be fun? I love that. It would be so cool to have a bunch of butterflies flying around in the middle of winter, wouldn't it? Anyways, all right. I'm going to go ahead and sign out and share some photos with you guys shortly. And here's one of my favorites too, Candyland. These are so yummy. Hope the caterpillar didn't poop on that. It's good. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. You have a great day. I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the Garden Chat group live stream. Be sure to follow me at Bren Haas. I'm on Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, of course. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you, Howard. Thank you, all of you that shared live. Keep the comments coming. Invite your friends. Bye, guys.